Rich and Jeremy in the morning. Lou Diamond Phillips joins. Good morning, Lou Diamond Phillips. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Rich and Jeremy. I'm fantastic. How are you guys doing?
Very, very excited.
Doing great and very honored. We are both huge Longmire fans, like huge.
Well, you'll be happy to know that I am literally standing in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and we're filming our 5th season right now.
Oh, my gosh.
In September. Yeah.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Please tell Vic I said hey.
So exciting. All right. I have so many things that are just jumping out of me. First of all, a lot of people may not know this, but you come from a military family. You were born in the Philippines, and your dad was a Marine, correct?
No, I was actually named after a Marine, General Sergeant Llewellyn Diamond, and he was kind of a Marine Audie Murphy of the Pacific Theater. My dad, he was in the Navy, actually.
Oh, hey, so was Rich.
About him.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
So I was named after him. My father, Gerald Church, from the Georgia area, was in the Navy, and then my stepfather, George Phillips, also a Navy guy. I guess my mother must have liked the uniform. I grew up on Navy bases, around the country and the world, and settled down in Corpus Christi, Texas, eventually.
Rich is a Navy man.
Yeah, I did some time in the Navy. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So, first of all, Lou Diamond Phillips joins us this morning. You've had such a really amazing career. People really got to know you with, of course, Richie Valens and La Bamba, and then you did a whole series of just really amazing movies. The whole Young Guns thing. But now what I love about what's happened in your career, you're at that point where it looks like you're choosing some roles that mean something to you, that are kind of speaking to you. And I kind of want to hear about your process when it comes to choosing roles, whether it's on the big screen or on television.
It's interesting, man, because I really think that first of all, I've been at this for 30 years, which just blows my mind. I can't read my IMDb page because it just puts me to sleep.
Right.
But I've been really fortunate. I mean, and I think Longmire is certainly part and parcel of this, where I'm playing roles that are really, really satisfying. I'm finally playing guys my age. I'm playing characters that have some real baggage to them and some texture and some mileage. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, is certainly one of those roles where I had to do so much preparation and really wrap my head around it, and that is 180 degrees away from Henry Standing Bear and Longmire, or Don Lucio that I just played in the 33 about the Chilean miners. I'm presented with some great challenges and some really, really meaty roles, and I think that I'm entering a period in my career, that some of my best work I think is ahead of me.
Speaking of meaty roles, you seem like you dropped a little meat for this for this role coming up. Looks like
I dropped a lot of meat. I mean, Richard Ramirez actually died of lymphoma in prison in 2013 at the age of 53. And I got down to 152 pounds. I dropped 20 pounds for this role.
How many pounds you dropped?
Yeah, about 20. Because I'm usually right around 170, so I got down to 152.
Wow.
It just kind of changes the whole shape of my face.
So how'd you do that?
Not to mention I also as far as losing the weight, man, just the old-fashioned way. You just run your butt off and.
Because I need to lose some.
Right. And I stopped lifting weights. It was all cardio. And the funny thing is, I had lost a lot of weight for the 33, and I had just put it back on, and then this role came along. So I was up and down for like the last year and a half, 2 years. And we also, my wife Yvonne is an incredible makeup artist, and she didn't do the makeup for the film, but she gave me a couple of great tips. Number one, Greg Cannon from the Face Off special effects shop made me these fake teeth because Richard's teeth were infamous. A lot of the survivors of his attacks described his teeth, and there were pictures of them, and they did molds of them during the trial because they were worried they were going to rot out. His hygiene was not great, and so the teeth kind of changed the shape of my jaw and my lips. And also we, used some eye tapes to pull back my eyes and change the shape. And he had these real sort of scythe-like, dagger-like coyote eyes. And I definitely wanted to try to replicate that as well.
You talk about the physical transformation, but as far as getting into a role like that, because let's face it, that's a dark place. And as an actor, I do a little community theater, and as an actor, I know you have to kind of have to sell out to get into a character, to really kind of figure out where a character's coming from, to be convincing. That's a dark place. How do you get into that, and then how do you get out of it enough to where it doesn't drive you nuts?
Rich was a great Ted Bundy.
No, stop
in community theater.
Stop
it was awesome.
It was a little known product, way off Broadway.
Way off Broadway.
But seriously, how do you do?
Yes.
Exactly. How do you handle that with a character, with a person like Richard Ramirez?
Well, it's interesting because, a lot of people say, well, was it difficult to let go of him? And, was your wife afraid of you?
Right.
Did she put up the knives? No. First of all, I'm not crazy, so that's helpful.
That helps.
It's in many ways a very sort of intellectual approach. I read Philip Kahlo's novel, which was fascinating and really gave me an insight into his background and how he got to where he got. Detective Gil Carrillo, who caught him and interviewed him in prison, was incredibly helpful. There's video that exists of Richard, pictures, and I went back and I rewatched Silence of the Lambs. I rewatched Charlize Theron in Monster. I watched Taxi Driver with De Niro, and so a lot of this was just sort of wrapping your head around it intellectually, and then having the the impulse or the desire to go beyond and really kind of embrace, who he was without apologizing. I mean, I've said this many times, I've taught acting on occasion, where it's like you cannot apologize for your character. You cannot hold him at arm's distance, because the audience will see you, apologizing. And so you kind of have to go there and give yourself license to be that disgusting or that, that dark. And then literally just kind of walk away from it. I mean, if I had done this role in my 20s, it might have been a different story. I'm in a much different place where I'm a lot more relaxed about the work, and I'm able to separate, I think what I do on the screen from what I do at home.
Yeah, we're a classic hits channel, and I read you were like mainlining AC/DC or something.
Yeah, man. I mean, as you know, part of it is this kind of self-hypnosis. First thing in the morning before going to work, I would rewatch. There was like an 8-minute interview with Richard, and I would watch that and look at it, the idiosyncrasies, and listen to the syntax and the vocal quality. And I know that Richard listened to a lot of AC/DC, specifically Night Prowler, and so he was incredibly happy when they called him the Night Stalker. I mean, he thought, "Oh, hey, I've made it." He's kind of the Beavis and Butthead of serial killers there. But I would just jam that, on my way to work, and basically, put myself in that headspace.
Lou Diamond Phillips, our guest, The Night Stalker. It's a Lifetime Movie Network film. It's getting great reviews. You're getting great reviews. We can't thank you enough for being on the program. We're huge. I seriously am. I started reading the Craig Johnson books a long time ago. When they came out with the series, I was pumped. When I saw that you were Henry Standing Bear, I have to tell you, very often when you see a favorite book come to the screen, you get a little anxious because a lot of times the characters don't match what you've imagined in your head, but you were perfect. You were exactly what I had imagined Henry Standing Bear to be, and it's just been a lot of fun to watch you.
Oh, thank you, and I'm so proud of it. And the fourth season was so great for Henry, and we just continue that, on Netflix. I mean, we have a full hour of programming without any commercial breaks, so we're really able to tell a very cinematic story every week. And this fifth season has just been fantastic.
One last thing I got to get in. My mom, every year growing up, threw an annual taco party. I was the entertainment, little karaoke La Bamba action, and it was my best Richie Valens, but in my mind, I was channeling you. I saw the movies, I watched a little method acting Lou Diamond for you. Anyway, I never got the chance to thank you.
Oh, fantastic.
No, that's excellent. That's excellent. You probably do it better than me.
All right.
Yeah.
We just need one thing. We're in Auburn, Alabama, home of the Auburn Tigers. We just need Lou Diamond Phillips to say War Eagle.
Yeah, you got it. All right, here we go. War Eagle.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Lou Diamond Phillips, thanks so much for being on.
Thank you.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.